Hi there. Welcome to your Hippo CMMS software demo. My name is Daniel Golub and I'm the General Manager at Hippo CMMS. For the next 45 minutes, it'll be my pleasure to introduce you to Hippo CMMS and walk you through the core features of our software. But before we dive into the software demo, I'd like to take just a minute to introduce you to our company. Hippo's head office is in Winnipeg, Canada. For those of you who are not familiar with Winnipeg, we're about an hour's drive north of the US-Canadian border. Yes, it gets cold here in winter. Even though we're a Canadian company, about 80% of our customers are coming from the United States. On the bottom of the slide, you'll see a snapshot of some of the great companies that currently use our software to improve their maintenance operations. You may have noticed that these companies come from a variety of industries, and that's true. Hippo is used by over 900 companies operating in manufacturing, healthcare, education, hospitality, retail, among others. Although these industries have very different business needs, one thing that they do have in common is that they're looking for a simple but powerful solution to manage their work orders, preventative maintenance, equipment, and assets and inventory. Well, that's enough about Hippo. Let's dive into this software. Okay, so for today's agenda, basically I'm going to start off by navigating you through the user interface, getting you all familiar with what you see on the screen and how to navigate through Hippo. And we'll focus on the different dashboards. We'll jump right into work order management following the navigation. So we'll focus on work order management. Then we'll get into the preventative maintenance. And then we'll followed by the equipment and inventory. And towards the end of the demonstration and throughout, I'll also be showing you the Hippo mobile. And then at the end, we'll do some reports. I'll show you some of the reporting tools available. And last but not least, we'll discuss some of the resources that are available. So if you do want to find out more about Hippo CMMS and our company, our software, there's a number of different resources that I want to show you on our website.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so let's just start off with the user interface and Hippo's dashboards. So what you're seeing right now is Hippo's enterprise screen. This screen is useful for organizations that have multiple facilities. So if you have multiple buildings or multiple facilities, the enterprise screen is just basically going to give you at a glance a summary of each of those facilities. On the right here, you'll see a name of all the different facilities or buildings, and it gives you a snapshot summary of all the open work orders, and it breaks it down by the number of preventative maintenance work orders that need to be done, on-demand work orders, which is your unplanned maintenance, and it lets you know if there's anything that's overdue or critical. So you may have noticed that some of these summary boxes are red, while some of them are blue, and some of them actually might be white. If it's blue, it just means you have work orders, there's stuff that needs to be done. If it's red, it means that there's either a critical or overdue work order, so it kind of catches your attention. And if there's a white summary box, it just means there's no work orders. So again, you log into Hippo. If you have multiple facilities, you can just get a snapshot of, at a glance what's going on in each of these facilities. And just so you know, we can customize your screen here. So this could be unique to your organization. It basically would be like an aerial view map of all your different facilities. So we make a custom rendered screen, and then it'll be branded for your organization, giving you that customizable feel. So I'm going to jump right into our Hippo plant here. So this is a rendering of a manufacturing plant. So this is just an example of a manufacturing plant that might be using our software. And if you only have one facility, this is kind of where the screen that you might start from. So again, we'd have like an aerial view map of a plant. So it can just an image of your plant. And then we can break that plant down by different sections or floor plans. So again, this is customizable. And if you have a large facility, we can break it down by different areas within the building. Okay, and if you hover over one of these dots, it's a link to that section, and it gives you a summary, again, of what is going on in that section or area of your building. Now, just look over to the right panel here. This is listing out all the current work orders that are open in this building or facility. So these are all your on-demand work orders. We currently have 19. So on-demand just means unplanned or reactive maintenance. So just when things break down or things need to be done that aren't planned, those will show up there. Those are work orders. And they're all color coded. So quickly, anything that's blue is in progress. The red ones are overdue. So we have quite a few overdue ones. Green hasn't been started. And then if we have any yellow ones, it just means they're waiting for parts or on hold. So at a glance, you can also see the status of your work orders. These are your on-demand work orders, and these are your preventative maintenance. So Hippo is an awesome tool for tracking your preventative maintenance. I think that's the #1 key driver of why different companies are looking at our software. So all of these work orders are going to trigger according to a schedule. So whatever schedule you set, these work orders are going to trigger and populate here automatically. So you're not submitting them. You don't have to remember anything. I'll show you how when you set up your database, you get your equipment in and you can set up your maintenance schedules according to a calendar, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, or according to some sort of meter reading. So it could be like runtime hours or mileage, any type of threshold that you want to reach. So these are preventive maintenance work orders, demand work orders. So these are all your work orders. I'm just going to go right back to these sections and floor plans. So I'm just going to click on this. And that's going to bring us right into this section of the building. So I'm going to zoom up on this drawing here, and you can zoom in on the drawing, and you can get a glance like different areas within the building. And you might notice here that there's some links on the floor plan. So that's a really cool feature in Hippo, which is really unique to our software. Anytime a work order or preventative maintenance work order triggers, you're going to see it on the floor plan. So I'm going to click on this. And basically, it's listing out all the work orders that are currently in this area. So there's a lot of them. This is just a demo account. So for this pump, we can see there's a numerous amount of work orders here. I can also drill down and take a look at that equipment as well. So by clicking on the link, I can actually look at the asset, get an image of it. Anything related to this piece of equipment, I can access with the click of the mouse. All the equipment details are here, the location, the model number, type of category, manuals and documents. Everything's accessible, with a simple click of the mouse. Okay, I'm just going to give you another example. Here's another area where we have work to do. So you can see there's a work order here. It says monthly equipment check. It's for an air compressor. And if I click on that, it brings up the air compressor. Again, your manuals. You can see the parts that are associated. So this is an equipment detail screen. Anytime you click on this link, it pulls up all of your equipment information. We'll get into that a little bit more. So back to our facility screen. Again, just to review, lists out all your work orders from this screen. You see an aerial view map of the facility, and then you can drill down into different sections of the building. Okay. Use this control here too to kind of move around. All right, so that would be, if you look at the top here, it says our dashboard view. That is our advanced dashboard. Now, there's a number of different ways to view your work orders in Hippo. So a lot of our customers a lot of our users, customers that have larger facilities like to use the advanced dashboard. It allows them to view locations of work orders on the floor plan and also track down equipment. But another useful view would be your standard view. So if I click on this dashboard here, the standard, it lists out all the work orders in a nice, detailed, data-driven list. Same work orders, but you'll notice now there's quite a bit more information about those work orders. So a lot of our users really use this screen a lot. It's a very extensive list of all the work orders. They're still color-coded here. But now you have some searching capabilities. So if I wanted to, for example, search for, let's just do, okay, building, just some keyword, it will find the work orders that have that keyword in the name. So you have some searching capabilities here, which is nice, especially if you have a lot of work orders. You can see the status clearly of each work order in this column and sort. So if you want to sort and find all your overdue work orders, no problem. Or you can search again too. These are all my overdue work orders. Okay, you'll notice it says priority here. So some of these work orders have priorities. work categories, totally customizable. So some of our customers like to categorize work by HVAC, plumbing, carpentry, electrical, preventative maintenance, interior, whatever category you want, whatever makes most sense to your company. Okay, here you'll see the association. This is important. So which asset is it associated with, which equipment, or which location in the building? So you can see that in this column, and again, you can sort or search. Okay, so if I wanted to find it, something that had the word air in it, there you go. Okay, the created date, the start date, the due date, and then this last column here, really important, is resources. So resources in Hippo is your technicians, who's been assigned to the work order. Okay, so you can see which work orders are assigned, which ones are unassigned. So for those of you that do have multiple technicians, you have 3 to 5 or 10, 20 maintenance technicians that you're assigning work to, you can clearly see here, who's been assigned, which one hasn't been assigned, get that information there. Okay, so just so we're clear here, if you click on the link, it pops the work order open. Okay, and we'll get to the work order management in just a bit. Okay, now it's important to note also, Hippo runs on any mobile device, any smartphone or tablet. So all work orders can be managed from smartphones or tablets, and the same type of view you can get from your smartphone or tablet. And we'll go into the mobile in more detail shortly. Okay, so again, we did the advanced dashboard, standard dashboard. If you want to look at all your work orders on a calendar, you can click on the calendar dashboard. So time's important, time management, that's where you're going to use your calendar. Okay, so all those same work orders now can be viewed on the calendar, from showing you which day they were submitted. You can get a monthly calendar, you can look at it weekly or daily. Calendar wouldn't be a calendar without the click and drag feature, so you can always click and drag and reschedule, so long as you have the permissions to do so. So some users may not have that permission, so it's a permission to be granted. Yeah, but this is your calendar here, and we're looking at the month of August. You can look ahead into the next month and see what's upcoming. So on this screen, you're going to see all upcoming scheduled work orders. There you go. There's quite a few, so it took a little while to load there, but all these black work orders are work orders that are upcoming and haven't triggered yet. So this is your upcoming preventative or planned maintenance. Now, there's a lot on this screen. Some may not have this many work orders on the go, depending on the size of your operation, but I'm just going to click on this filter icon, and you can easily filter by different types of work orders. So, if you want to focus on your preventative maintenance that's overdue, very easy to do. Just click on overdue, that's your status, and preventative maintenance, and search. And there we go, all of your overdue PMs. Now, if you want to even drill down, narrow down that query, say we want to search for a keyword in those overdue PMs, I search for the word saw, you can see all of our overdue PMs that have the word saw in it. Okay, so this is our calendar view. And then last but not least, we have our KPI dashboard. So KPIs are really important. This is one of the great benefits of having a CMMS. This KPI dashboard is just going to allow you to view KPIs, key performance indicators, that are important to you, that are significant to your operations. So on this KPI dashboard we have here, how many PMs we've completed, how many demand work orders we've completed, how many were completed on time. So we're not really doing so well here, and it's good to know that. You can find that out really quickly and address that issue. That's kind of the whole point, and one of the benefits of a CMMS. And then here is your open work order statuses. So at a glance, again, you can see how we're doing on work that we're completing, and also what do we have on the go. And with this KPI dashboard, you can take this back and report on a different time period. Okay, so I just went back all the way to March. If I like, I can what's going on this month, last 30 days. So KPI dashboards are really great tool to use and screen to use, just to get a great quick insights into how well you're doing. So just going to jump back into our standard view here, and I think we covered the user interface or the dashboards pretty thoroughly for this demonstration. Just so you can see here, also there's a control panel on the left, And there's a number of different features you can use here as well. So work order search, this is going to allow you to quickly search for various different work orders and print them off, batch print them. So for example, if I want to see all the work orders we completed since July 1 completed, maybe I want to see all the completed PMs. Okay, so I'm just checking this off, running this query, and it basically just listed out all our completed PMs since July 1. So these are all the work orders that are preventative maintenance work orders that were done. Easy to view them here. So you can pull up past records like with the click of the mouse. So this is a completed PM that we did. You can see who completed it. So everything's documented, who closed it. And if I want to batch print these, for whatever reason, you may want to batch print some work orders or print one of them or two of them. You just click on the check mark here, and you can hit this print icon, and it will print out all these work orders for you. So that's your work order search. And your admin here, your facility admin, this is a great tool to use if you're an admin user or you want access to some admin functions. Firstly, this is where you can add your users and view users. Important to note here is that we do offer unlimited users with Hippo. So this is a list of all of your users. And you can add as many users as you want, and you can set their permissions according to what their role and responsibility is within the software. So I think if you want to find out more about some of these admin functions or adding users, we could set up another demonstration, or you can just get in touch with one of our solutions experts and we can get into that. But just so you can see here, these are just some of the various different permissions that you can give users. Do you want them adding parts and equipment? Do you want them deleting it? Do you want them adding other users and editing their permissions? What emails do they get? Do you want them getting notifications on when parts are low, or when work order statuses are updated, or when preventative maintenance work orders trigger? I mean, this is where you can set up each user, and we can definitely help you do that. So yeah, you get unlimited users. That's where you would add your users. If you wanted to view and add equipment, that would be under your equipment. So this is a complete list of all of your assets that are in your building. So it's very easy to add equipment into Hippo. Again, you just hit that plus button and you basically fill out this form: name, location, and model. That's really the main requirements to adding a piece of equipment in Hippo. But if you want to take it further and add the serial number, put on the status, is it active or inactive, add photos, manuals, documents, what the life expectancy is, that's all doable. But if you want us just simply adding your equipment by name and model and location, that's also acceptable. So easy to add equipment in Hippo. And we can also help you to import data too. So if you're moving from one CMMS system to a new one, you can take that data and then import it into this software. So you're not having to go about doing that manually. So importing data is very easy from an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV. Yeah, this is your equipment list. And if I want to find a certain asset, I might look for a beam saw. Okay, these are all of our beam saws. We have quite a few. If I want to view the asset, I just click on the view button and it pulls up all of the asset information from this screen. So, ID tag images, photos. Again, we have manuals here. Yeah, anything that's relevant to this equipment, you can really pull off this screen. These are the parts. So some of you may be managing parts and keeping parts in inventory. Here you're seeing what parts are associated with this specific asset, how many we have in inventory, the part number, where it's located, that's all listed here. Okay, if I want to see any open work orders for this equipment, these are all open work orders for this asset. Straight from the screen, I can see those work orders. History. If I want to go back in time and look at the history on this equipment, I just load up all of those work orders. These are all the work orders that were completed within this time period. So, with a few clicks of a mouse, I could get access to all those work orders. If you want to look at upcoming work orders, like scheduled maintenance, that would be on this right here at the bottom. Scheduled work orders. These are all the upcoming work orders for this asset. You can see when the next scheduled date is. And Some of you might want to be tracking downtime. So if you are tracking downtime, that's right here. You just load the history there, and it will give you, every incident when the equipment was taken offline and for how long. So, I showed you quite a bit there with this beam saw, but back to the main, where did I find this? I just went into our equipment list. Okay, equipment list is just right here. I found equipment, clicked on it. It brought up this detailed list here of all of our assets. And then I just went ahead and searched for a keyword. Okay, and it brought up our beam saw. Okay, from here I just clicked on view, and then I can access, open work orders, history, downtime history, parts, manuals. If I want to submit a work order here, I'll just click submit work order, and it automatically ties it to that asset. So very helpful screen here. Okay, this is where all your equipment's accessed. And then some of you may be like using it to track some parts. So just quickly, this is a list of all the parts that we have in inventory. Belts, filters, just a list of all the parts. Gives you your which assets it's associated with right here, your associations. Storage location if you do have some sort of like bin system. Okay. And of course, you'll get your supplier information. All the supplier information is right here. And then all the quantities that you have on hand, your desired quantity, minimum quantities, and you can be notified when parts are low. So we'll talk about parts a little bit more. I'm just showing you here that this is where you can add your parts. Okay, so I think for now that kind of wraps up the user interface, and let's just get into work order management. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk you through how you can submit a request. So many of you might have staff members that you want submitting requests, and they want them to go through this software rather than being emailed or called in if there's something going wrong within the facility. So they're going to log in as a requester, and Hippo has single sign-on. Also, you can sync this to your Active Directory too. So if you have a long list of employees or people that you would want submitting requests in your Active Directory, that can sync directly into Hippo. And if someone leaves the company or makes a change to that user, you can do that in your Active Directory and it'll instantly update Hippo. So just want to be clear on that. So yeah, I'm going to log in as a requester. And the purpose of this is that, it's a simple screen here that when the user logs in, it says work order request, and you can have it so their name and email automatically populates. So they log in and basically type in the problem they're having. So maybe like the light needs to be replaced. So log in, type in the problem, as much detail or as little as you need, and then just what facility. So if there's only one facility, then this is just going to automatically populate. So basically, log in, type in the problem, and choose where it's located within the building. So I'm going to put it in the door shop, and I might put a priority on it. That can be removed if you want to, this is kind of low priority, but if you don't want that priority drop down there, you can take that away. So really simple, log in, type in the problem, a location, and maybe a priority. Hit submit. And then we're just going to look at like, where did that request go? So right now, that's not a work order. It's actually a maintenance request that needs to be approved or rejected. So we're just logged back into the software. I'm going to go to our Hippo plant. You can see here, I have one request here. You can see work order requests. There it is. Okay, that's the request I just put in. The light needs to be replaced. You can see I put it in here and where it's located. So the user has the permission to approve or reject this, can decide what they want to do. Now, if you're out on the go, this is our mobile, you would see that request on your mobile as well. So you get an email notification. I'm just going into my Hippo plant, and you can see here that we have requests. There we go. So I'm just going to go to our Hippo plant. Yeah, There it is. The light needs to be replaced. So if I want to, you can see Daniel Golub submitted it. If I want to email me, I can click on this and send an email. But yeah, you can either approve or reject it. So I'm going to do this first from the desktop version, hit approve, and what will happen is a work order form pops up. So we can already see some of the information's populated. Okay, for example, the description. If you want to add more to it, you can. Okay, I can type in some more information. I can see who requested it right at the bottom here. You might want to change the priority level here, put a due date on it. Okay, if it goes past that due date, it's overdue. And then put, a title, replace light, or whatever, fix light, whatever you want to call it. That's really all you have to do. Now, if you want to assign it to somebody, sure, let's give it to Anne here. Anne's going to do this work order. Okay, so just put the work order name, assign it, maybe a due date, and if you want to edit the description there, you can. So I'm going to hit submit, and that's going to be a work order. So back to our screen here, you'll see replace light. It's green, it hasn't been started. Okay, if you want to change it to your standard view, it'll also be at the top of your list, replace light. Okay, so let's update this work order. So here's our work order. Now to close this out, it's very simple. This is just a small task. Just change the status to completed. Now, if you want to put it on hold or rejected or in progress, those are all optional. You have a number of different statuses here, but I'm going to hit completed. And the next thing I just want to do here is log my hours. So how long does this take me to do? So I'm going to say a half an hour. Now what that's going to do is this is going to give you information and data on your reports for labor hours, but also labor costs. So if that's something you're looking to capture and get reports on, it's important to put the labor hours in. It's a simple step. You just put the time in, and that will give you a cost on the labor and how long this takes. Okay, that's really all we needed to do. I hit save, and that work order is completed. It's no longer in our list. Okay, it was that simple. Now, what if you don't want to put a request in? There might be some users that just want to jump to submitting a work order. They don't need it to be approved. That's totally doable. You just hit the submit work order button here, or on your mobile, you can hit submit work order here as well. So let's use the mobile first. So we're going to type a work order here in the mobile. Something went wrong in the building. Now, what's really cool is on your mobile, you can hit your mic if you like to do voice recognition, and it will enter the data using your voice. So that's kind of nice, because if you do have a lot of detail that you want to put in, and you maybe have bigger fingers or you don't like typing with your mobile, you can use that. So I'm gonna put beam saw is broken. Okay, so I put the work order name in. So I'm going to choose my facility, and then I'm going to choose my asset. So I'm going to use this search here and find the one I'm looking for. Now, one of the cool things about the mobile too is you can use barcode scanning. So for each of your assets, you actually can just scan it with like if you have a barcode on it, use your phone, scan it, and it'll pull up the equipment. You can submit a work order straight from there. But I just did a quick search there. You can also use that search. Okay, and I'm gonna just type in here, Okay, so I just put in a quick description. Again, this is where you might want to use your mic because you saw there that I had some issues with the typing, and I'm not the greatest at typing, so you can avoid that by using your mic. I'm going to make this critical as well. So some of your work orders you might want to make critical and give it a due date. All right, so that's all I really needed to do. Beam saw is broken, associate it with the equipment, put a description in. Now, if I want to assign it to a technician, I can do that from here as well. So this is more information you can just add on this work order. Know that you can also upload photos as well. So first things first, I am going to assign it to one of our resources. So I'm going to give it to Anne again. So I assigned it to her. But if you do want to attach an image, like you might want to take a photo, you just hit this add button and it will tie right into your camera. This is an emulator, so it's not going to do that. There's no camera on the emulator, but just know that if you do want to attach or take a photo while you're out in the field, you can do that with the mobile. Yeah, so I'm going to just hit save here. This work order is going to submit. So the mobile is really nice to process and manage work orders on the go. If you're out in the field, you don't have to send emails in or write work orders down. You can see in real time that work order just showed up on my desktop. Okay. And if I'm looking at my mobile, it's right there on my mobile as well. So everything's in real time in just seconds. Okay, so back to our work order. Let's complete it. Maybe we got waiting for parts or something like that, but I'm going to complete this. And again, we just add in the labor. Say this one took 2 hours. And maybe if you guys are using parts, we're going to use some of these parts. So if I need to use one of these parts here, I can see that I have 46 of these available. I'm going to use one of them. So these are all the parts that are tied to this asset. So you're going to see a list of these parts on every work order that's linked to that piece of equipment, and then you'll see how many are in inventory, and then you can use them straight from here. So I hit save. Okay, that work order is gone. All right, now if I want to just quickly go back to the work order search here, let's look at work orders that were generated today and completed. So I did generated today and completed, hit search. Okay, those are the 2 work orders we just did. Okay, beam saw is complete, beam saw is broken, and replace light. Those are those 2 work orders. So they're already in our history and we can pull them out. Okay, so I think that's probably good enough for this demonstration to go, to cover the demand work orders. Now let's take a look at preventative maintenance. So preventative maintenance work orders, really the only difference is you're not going to be submitting it. Okay, what it is actually in your scheduled work orders here, they are set up. So once you get your equipment into the database, you can start setting up scheduled work orders. Okay, and basically you're just filling in information here. So I'm just going to walk you through some of the fields. And we go, okay. So you're going to give it a work order name. Just type in a name like, monthly PM for beam saw. Okay, it's a calendar schedule, and then I'm going to link it to the beam saw. There we go. So you can also link it to multiple assets as well. I'm just going to type in a quick description here. Now, normally it's probably good practice to refer to your O&M manuals or the manufacturer's website to get the actual job description down, but I'm just putting in a quick description. You can give it a work category. I'm going to call it machining. And then we set a schedule. So this is going to determine how frequent this PM triggers. So because I want to do this monthly, I already have it set here for monthly. I'm just going to go occurs on, the 27th day of the month. Or you can have it like it occurs on the first, Thursday or Wednesday of the month. I'm just going to do this date so it goes live today. Now, one of the cool features here too is that you can give yourself preventative maintenance reminders in advance. So if you want to know 3 days in advance that this PM is going to come due or trigger, you can have this notification set up. So, whoops, I didn't check off my months. There we go. Little error there. Okay, so I just set the schedule. Other things that you can do is, set due dates. Like if it's not completed within 3 days, it'll be overdue. You can add tasks onto it, give it certain tasks. So this is kind of a nice feature here, like so if you want step-by-step tasks, you can add those onto the work order. And you can assign it from here, or you can wait until it triggers and then assign it. So I pre-assigned it. But like you want to add documents, you can add documents to it, lockout procedures, job hazards lists, how long should this take? 45 minutes, just so you can get better planning on your calendar. If you want it to float, based on the completion date, that's when the next one will trigger. The time frame will be based on when the work order was completed, not just keep triggering according to schedule. You can do that as well. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can add to this PM. Okay, so there's already one that existed there. We'll just ignore that. But I'm going to show you here what we have for our preventative maintenance here. So once the work order triggers, it's going to look like this. It's exactly like our other work orders that I showed you earlier. The only difference is really that these are triggering according to a schedule. So here's our PM. Cool feature is that on the PM, you can click on this link and it pulls up all the equipment information. So again, if you want to look at the manual or check out the barcode, here's your barcode for this. Okay, do that within seconds. But really all you're going to do is read the work order, okay, and then do your tasks. So that's another different feature. With the on-demand work orders, there's usually not tasks. With your preventative maintenance work orders, you can set up repetitive or step-by-step tasks that need to be completed. And it's a really great feature to have because you don't want to reinvent the wheel and have each different technician doing work differently. If these are really important to get to be referred to and be completed, you can have a task checklist. And we'll just put our time in and maybe use one of these parts here. Look at one of the parts. You want to use one of these parts. Just hit one. Okay. Hit completed. And then our schedule will reset. That work order has been completed and then it will reset. Again, with your mobile, you can also check out your PMs on your mobile as well. So here's an example of a PM that we have here on our mobile. We can see it says PM. We'll just pop that open and look at the PM. Again, the work order layout is exactly the same. So this is a PM, electrical cord drop, bi-monthly maintenance or inspection. Okay, where is it located? How long should it take? When was it created? Then we're going to look at our tasks here. So these are the tasks that we have to complete. So just, flip that with your finger. If you want to put your time in, you can. If you don't, that's fine. You want to look at some parts, you can use your parts here and add parts to the work order. But really all we're going to do is hit the completed button here on our status. And save. Now, I think it's probably a good time to just look at some of the features that are on the mobile. So basically it's going to list out all your different buildings. If you only have one building, it's only going to show you one building. I'm going to look at all the work orders. And then by clicking on this, it'll take you into the building and just show you all the work orders that are in the building. Okay, they're all color coded. Again, you can see one here is critical. So all your work orders can be managed from your mobile, but you also have a number of other features that you can use. So you can submit work orders, manage your requests, okay, do a work order search, all right, access all of your equipment. So this is a nice feature. You can actually scan, if you want to barcode tag all your equipment or use QR codes, you can tag them and access them straight from your mobile. So it would look something like this. So if I want to look at this asset from my phone, I can see here we have this piston pump. I can submit a work order if I want to. Okay, it's automatically going to tie it to the asset. I can take it offline, but all the assets details are accessible from your phone as well or your mobile device. Model information, manuals, current work orders, if there are any. So, just search for your equipment and you can manage it straight from your phone. Earlier, I showed you floor plans. You can view your floor plans here, manage your parts as well. So the mobile is a great tool to manage your maintenance on the go. yeah, and kind of move away from all that paper. Okay, so we're doing pretty good for time. I kind of talked about parts, equipment. We did work order management. We did preventative maintenance. Let's just look at some of the report features that we have available. So just looking at this screen here, this is our reports. The first tab you'll see is current work order reports. Basically allows you to report on all the open work orders that you currently have in the facility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on show graphs, because if I do want to see some of the graphical reports, that's doable within the software. So with this report, current work order reports, we can report on everything that's open we currently have on the go. So if you have a lot of work orders, this is a very helpful report to run. It basically gives you a breakdown of your demand work orders and PMs and letting you know how many haven't been started and how many are overdue. So this blue here is the overdue work orders. Okay, it'll also give you a nice pie chart breakdown here of all the open work orders and different statuses. So how many are in progress, how many are on hold, waiting for parts, overdue. Get a nice pie chart graphical representation there. Okay, lists out all your work orders that are currently open. Okay, the red ones are overdue. So nice list. Okay, this all can be extracted into a CSV file, Excel document, PDF. Okay, you can print it off. And then it breaks down a summary of all the open work orders by status here. So we have a total of 163 work orders. You can see how many are overdue, that sort of thing. Now you can of course filter it down. So you might want to do something like show me all my overdue PMs. So I just put PMs and I go to work order status here, overdue. Here are all my overdue PMs. Okay, just list them all out. I can extract that to Excel, print it off. I can even email this out to other users. Okay, but if you want to take it further and filter by a resource, you can. Let's see if Anne has any overdue PMs. Yeah, so this is Anne's overdue PM. So this is your current work order reports. You can see it at the top. It basically allows you to report on anything that's currently open, apply different filters. Maintenance history is probably the most useful reports. And with maintenance history, you're going to report on anything that's completed. So it really allows you to get an idea of like, what is it costing us to, if you're looking to track costs, how much have we spent on maintenance over a period of time? I'm doing April 1st here. How many repairs are we doing on specific pieces of equipment? Are we completing our preventative maintenance on time? How well are our maintenance technicians doing, our staff? So this is I'm basically going to report on since April 1, what have we done without applying any of these filters, okay? And I can show you after that, you can apply these filters and really drill down. But even from this report, you're going to get a nice breakdown of all the work orders that were completed since April 1. So again, you get a nice graphical report, how many work orders were completed on time out of 67%, and then it tells you like preventative maintenance, you're 67% as well. Demand work order 67%. So evenly split on completion. Here's a breakdown of your costs. So you can see by far labor is our biggest cost, parts, and then invoices. Here's a list of all your maintenance technicians. So you can use these kind of dynamic reports. And then equipment here. What's the most costly piece of equipment? Right over here, beam saw one that we use a lot. $28,900 since April 1. So here's a list of all the closed work orders. And then at the bottom here, I'm going to just scroll down and we're going to get a nice breakdown here. So for demand work orders, that's your reactive maintenance. How many did we complete? How many were completed on time? It even gives you your average days late, average days to complete. PMs, how many did you complete? How many were completed on time? Same type of data. Total labor hours, overtime hours, getting your labor costs, parts costs, invoice costs, total maintenance costs. So this is the type of report that you can run monthly and just have it scheduled so you're getting this email monthly, weekly, or quarterly. Okay, it's basically taking each work order that was completed, and so long as you're tracking labor hours and invoices and parts, it's going to collect that data and summarize it for you. Now, if you're not interested in collecting that data, you don't have to put it on. Just it won't come out. Okay, here's a list of all of your maintenance technicians. So for those of you that have like more than one technician, maybe a group of 3 to 10, even more, you get a list of all the technicians, total labor cost, labor hours, how many work orders are completing, and then what percentage are they completing on time. So you get a good, nice understanding here of like, who's been responding to work orders, maybe who needs a little work and who's doing really well. So different vendors. So we don't really talk about this, but all your vendors can be put into Hippo. So if you for time to time, you're calling in vendors to do very specialized work, or you're a property management company and you rely heavily on vendors, you can track those as well and see which vendors, are costing you a lot, and how many work orders are they doing, are they completing them on time? So all your vendors are being tracked, all your assets too. So this is very important. A lot of our users are really wanting to get a handle over which equipment's breaking down the most and costing us the most. So here we're going to see this beam saw one has 27 reactive maintenance work orders and has cost us over this period of time $28,000, almost $29,000. So from here you can make that judgment call. Do I want to replace it or continue maintaining it? You can also get a nice report on all the downtime. So air compressor 6 has been down the most. And then parts used, which parts have we used over that period of time? So all that is pulled out of this report simply by just putting a time frame in here. So I'm going to go, let's look at maybe July 1, and I want to see what Anne has done. So I put Anne, July 1, and maybe I want to see the preventative maintenance work order she's done. Okay, here's all the PMs that she did. So it's really easy. You can extract it again into Excel. Maybe I want to see a report on all of the repairs done to the demand work orders done to that beam saw. So I can report on this equipment here. Beam saw 1, show me all the repairs. So that would be your demand work orders since July 1. Okay, those are all the repairs that we did in July, or since July 1. Or maybe you want to see, since day 1. Okay, I just leave that wide open. It will report on the entire history. Okay, so maintenance history reports really allow you to, access all of your records, everything that's been logged in the software as far as work and transactions that have been done. So basically, there's 45 repairs done, and we've spent about $7,500 on those repairs. So easy information to access. Inventory, some of you might be tracking parts, some may not, so I'm going to go through this quickly. If I want to see all my parts that I'm low on, I just click on that, and it'll basically give me a list of parts that I need to order that have hit a minimum quantity threshold. They'll give you your supplier information, how many to order if you put the desired amount in, who to call, what the cost should be. Okay, if I want to see parts for a specific piece of equipment, and I can look here for, keep on going to that beam saw. Maybe I'll go into, I'll just do air compressor. What do we have for air compressor parts? Here's a list of parts that we use for our air compressors. How many do we have on hand, part name, part type. And then we can also do depreciation reports if that's something that your accounting department wants. Okay, last thing about reports. If you want to get more granular and get like more customizable reports, we also have an extract tool. So in the extract tool basically allows you to pull any data out of the software. Okay, and you can customize the report, basically pick and choose any fields of data and organize the, run a specific query, and you can basically pull all this data into an Excel spreadsheet. So yeah, this is just basically your extract tool. So just know that you can export all your data and make custom reports here. All right, now I think it's time to just wrap things up. But before we do, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the resources that are available to you. If you are interested in learning more about our software, I know this is just kind of a high-level introduction on the core features of Hippo. Definitely reach out to us. If you go to our website, you'll see there's a number of resources here. There's great information about our software. If you want to learn about our preventative maintenance, our work order software, use these tools. There's a lot of information here. If you want to schedule a demo, just click on any of these links here. Our solutions experts, if you fill out this form, they'll reach out to you right away and make sure that they can schedule a demo, like a 45-minute personalized demo to you. On top of that, there's also some other tools here. There's a free trial that you can use. So if you look at the top of the website, there's a free trial button you can use. If you want to learn more about our company or meet the team, that's myself, I'm the general manager, but we have almost 30 people really willing to work hard and help you out. So great team here, very happy about our team. And I'd also definitely look at the resource center. So the resource center is awesome, okay? On this resource center, you have case studies, okay, CMMS guides. So for best practices, you have case studies. All these are downloadable for free. And then you'll see here, there's also videos as well. So there's a lot of great videos you can look and refer to. And then of course, our pricing information. So if you want to look at some of the packages that we have, here's our starting prices. So one thing you will notice is that there's a breakdown here of different packages, and you'll notice that we do offer unlimited users and lifetime technical support. So different packages for different size operations. Some features, that I showed you today may not be suitable for your operation. Maybe you're not using parts and inventory. We can definitely scale it to your operation. So yeah, so basically take a look at our pricing packages. We do have a price calculator on our website as well. But yeah, give us a call. I'll just take it to contact us. Feel free to contact us or reach out to us through our website. Thank you very much. Look forward to speaking with you.